Hello my people and welcome to my channel. My name is Milly Kihiu. Last time we addressed fear and today I bring you yet another thrilling topic and I'm sure that you'll be encouraged, and so I welcome you to subscribe. Those who are viewing us for the first time, you're most welcome. Those who are still following up, thumbs up for you. And those who are intending to subscribe, please subscribe to this channel. You'll get more and more every Friday so that you can get encouraged that still life is beautiful no matter what we are going through. Remember, this channel is all about encouraging you, all about letting you know that life can still be beautiful. Life is still beautiful no matter what we are going through. Life is beautiful in itself and there's a lot to admire in life. You don't have to wait until you become so and so that you can love life, so that you can enjoy life. You don't have to wait until you have this and that so that you can love life and so that you can enjoy life. Life will always be beautiful because it is the small things in life that matters. Also, there are so many people who are hurting in this world. That tells you that fate happens to all, both good and bad. And therefore, in today's topic, we are talking about when bad things happen to good people. Those people that are hurting in the world, those people that are hurting around us, we who are hurting, it doesn't mean that we are hurting because we are bad. Bad things happen to good people. And when the bad things happens, we always have something that we can do. Life will have to continue. Like in Cairo, I remember reading about these receptacles that were put in a museum, and women would go there. The ancient Egyptian women, they used to go there to put their tears anytime they were hurting. And so if that happened that long ago, what do you think about the present? How many people have been hurting since that time to now? Don't you think that so many people in life are hurting? There are so many things that happen in our lives that make us to hurt and to have heartaches. Sometimes one can lose part of their body parts. Like for example, can you imagine of that one person who lost their hands in a workshop? They were active, they were doing their things, they were doing their work, and they were working for themselves. Now here comes a time when they can no longer use their hands. Their hands now have been chopped off and they always depend on people. Is that not a hurt? That brings them a setback in life. That may not be easy to understand for that person who has experienced it. Because it is so painful when you are doing your own things and now you depend on someone else to be taking you around errands. Then you can imagine that one person who lost their leg. You can imagine you are walking, you could go into vehicles, you could drive your own car, you could do your things, you could take yourself wherever you wanted, and here comes a time you can no longer use your legs. Those are heartaches. It is very painful for that person. They cannot relate to the life they used to have and the life that they began. As well, you find that sometimes you can lose your sight. You can imagine that day when you could see everything, you could do things for yourselves because you could see. But now here comes a time when you cannot see. Someone must lead you, someone must take you here and there, and anytime you want to move to somewhere, somebody must be there to lead you. Is that not a heartache? It brings a setback in one's life. Sometimes you cannot tell when it might come, but at some points of life, things happen and it changes the whole of our lives. Sometimes you find that someone had their hair on and a time comes the hair falls off, or it changes its color, or it changes like completely. You become a completely different person. I was looking at this friend of mine who had her beauty on the skin, and one day she woke up in the morning, there were some spots on her face. Then time spent by and the spots grew bigger and bigger. At the end of the time, her skin now changed completely. It was a real setback on her life. She no longer admired what she had on her face. She no longer admired her skin anymore. That was a setback in life. That was a painful experience. That was a bad experience. So bad things happens in life. Some can be handled, some cannot handle the issues. Again, there are issues of loss. Like you can lose, people have lost their children, people have lost families tragically, people have lost items, people have lost their properties, and it brings them far backwards in their life. And most of the time, if these issues are not handled well, they bring a lot of pain in the person experiencing it. To an extent, they feel like they no longer want to live anymore. Sometimes you may receive shocking news in your life and you feel like, this one, I cannot stand it. Bad news always come to our lives. If they have not come to your life, at some point they may. But we pray that it doesn't happen. But then we cannot control sufferings in our lives. They will always come because there are tragedies, there are issues happening around our lives, and sometimes we may not control what happens in our lives. We have seen people who are suffering joblessness. Someone has gone to school, they have studied, they have done all it takes, they have tried all they could, but they are jobless. They suffer in life. Others try doing things and they backfire. Others try to get ends meet, but even the ends are not there. So at the end of the day, you find those people becoming so disappointed with life. And sometimes they feel life can never be sweet. Life can never be beautiful. Life can never be good. They don't love life anymore. I have a friend of mine who shared his story with me. And he was telling me about how much he has suffered, how he has lost his family because of his joblessness, how he has lost friends who mattered to him because he can no longer relate with them, because most of his friends are working, most of his friends are doing well in life, but for him, he's just nosediving every day. Things are turning worse every other time. And I remember him telling me that one day he was he experienced a blackout in his house. Not because there was no electricity, not because there was no power, but because he had no money to pay for the electricity bills. And then one friend of him, one of his friends came visiting. And he was like, I see everywhere there is lights. How comes you are in darkness? What has happened? And so he told him, I'm planning to go and get some, to pay some, to get some token out there. Then he told him, I think because the things that I wanted us to do, we cannot do them in the darkness. So you'd rather go. But he didn't have a coin. And he could not explain to his friend. And therefore, he just told his friend, I think I was going out, so I don't think we can do this right now, but we can do it later. You see, his life is no longer the healthy life that he was living. He lived a life where his friends came, they did things together in the house, but right now, he's trying to dodge every other time because things are not going on well. Fortunately, he told me that one of the neighbors saw that he had stayed in the darkness for like 3 days, and he came and gave some token to the children, and the children and the lights were back. And therefore, we suffer so much when life has given us bitterness. People have lost even their marriages. Marriages just break. People cannot agree anymore. The life that you had started together, the life that you were living happily, you lose it. You know, the living happily ever after does not happen. It fails you. It fails your spouse. It fails your parents. It fails your friends. And at the end of the day, you don't even want to face anyone. You feel like a failure. All these are heartaches. They don't just happen to bad people. They happen to good and bad as well. People have lost their spouses. You lose them by death. You lose them by when you really needed them. People have lost their children. when they were really at the top, at the peak of their life. People have lost their parents when they really need them. Like I look at the orphans. Some children are left when they are very young. Some have not even understood what life is, but they are left orphans. So life can always be bitter. Life can sometimes be bitter. Life can give you the dark side. Life can come the way we did not anticipate. I have seen people who have gone out and gotten children who've become so rebellious, and the parents becomes very disappointed because they did all what it takes, but the children just decides to be rebellious. And the parents feels, what did I not do right? And they keep wondering, what can I do to bring these children back? That one brings pain to the parents' heart, and they get so much disappointed even in the lives that they had planned for their children. I have seen a friend of mine who was once, he was once a soldier somewhere. And one day, things happened, and there was some robbery that happened. And just by fate, he was found and was arrested. But he didn't know anything to do with all that had happened, but he was arrested. And later he was taken to jail. He has stayed there for years. His family has suffered. His wife has suffered. But he had nothing to do with that. Don't you see that that was fate? So bad things can happen to good people, even when they least expect. I have seen families that are suffering childlessness. These families, they began so well. They were very hopeful. But out of the blues, things didn't work out. They never got children, and so it has become a heartache in their lives. I have seen women who are hurting because at some point some of them lost their fertility, others have lost their fallopian tubes, others have had ectopic pregnancies. It has hurt them so much that they've nobody to share with. They have nowhere to run to because they know, like, this one is done, it's done, it is what it is, it will never change. That alone becomes a wound in their lives. It becomes a heartache in their lives. Don't we have these people in our society? They are all in our society. And nobody will come telling you, you know, I'm hurting of this, I'm hurting of that. But people are hurting. People are having issues. People are having problems. People are having pains in their hearts. They are crying day and night. Others are crying in their hidings. Do we have a role? Do we have a role for these people? Is there something that we can do for these people? Is there something that we can do to change their situation? Can we better the situations they are in? Can we better the life of that child who has been left without the parents, who has been left an orphan? Can we better the life of that widow? Can we better the life of that parent who has lost their only son? Can we better the life of that child who has wandered away and can no longer come back home because they have lost direction? Can we better the life of that person who has been left, who has broken their marriages? Can we bring them back to life again? What do they need? Let us understand that these people, they need a shoulder to cry on. They need a shoulder to lean on. Can you offer that shoulder for that person? Can you offer that shoulder for them to lean on and to cry on? Can you be their confidant? Can they share their story with you and you keep it for yourself and you try to help them out? Can you really give them a solution when they are really looking for it? These people need encouragement. They need someone to tell them that it is well. It's gonna be well. Yes, it is how it is today, but it's gonna be well. Because we believe that in every shadow, there must be the light side. There is no shadow without light. And so we can help them to focus on the light rather than focus on the shadow part of their lives. These people need somebody to soothe their ailing hearts. How can you soothe them? By giving them sweet words, by singing them a sweet song, by sending them sweet messages, by reminding them that you still care, and reminding them that there is also another one who is almighty and powerful that cares about their heartaches. by reminding them that there is always the brighter side of life, by helping them to focus, by helping them to reorganize their life that has been disorganized by these tragedies. You can always have them come up again. You can offer some encouragement. These people need family support. But most of the time, we have come to realize that the family members, they are leaving us away. They are leaving us out. They are putting us aside. And most of the time, you find that these people who are hurting, they are not helped by the family members, but they get support from friends and other people out there in the society. But as family members, we ought to know that when we have a person who is hurting in our family, let us always know and let us always learn that they need our support. We need to support them. Don't look at them and say, you know, when they were this and this, they used to do this and that. Forget about that and help them now that they are hurting. Help them to stand again. Help them to come up again. Help them to rise again. They also need a friend who will reach them out. Are you reaching out to your friend who went mute and you do not understand what happened to them? Don't you think that they could be hurting somewhere? Don't you think that they could be carrying burdens that they cannot, that they feel overcoming in their lives? They need a friend who will reach them out. Anybody who is hurting, anybody who has faced these tragedies, anybody who has faced this loss, they need us to bring some support to them by reaching out to them. Please don't wait for them to reach out to you, because they will not. At their point of hurting, they cannot reach out to us. It is those who are not hurting that can reach out to them. Remember, these tragedies and fates can come to anyone, good and bad as well. Do you have a space for those people who are hurting? Do you think about them? Do you ever sleep and think about that person who has had sleepless nights? You have slept the whole night until it is the alarm that woke you up. And sometimes we even snooze the alarm. We don't want to wake because the sleep is so sweet. There is that one other person who has tossed throughout the night. They have not had any sleep because their lives are hurting. Do you have a chance for them? Do you reach out to them? Or do you just say, am I the only one who will be reaching out to people? They can also reach out to me. Take a chance today. Take a chance now and reach out to them. There is someone out there who is hurting so much and they want somebody to relate to their problem. Maybe you have had such a heartache before. Why don't you go and share with that person and show them whom you have become after the heartache? Let them see that after the heartache there can be another life. That life can still change. Let them see how much you have changed so that they can also be encouraged to rise again. So when these people are hurting this much, we can see that there is a lot that we can do. I've mentioned just but a few. But I know even from where you sit, there is something that you can do. There is something that you can offer. You can help them. And now, for those who are hurting, is there something that we can do for ourselves? Do we have something that we can do for our lives so that we can make life beautiful? Remember, in this channel, we have always said that life is still beautiful no matter what we are going through. We can make lemonade from the lemon that life gives us. Remember, in this life, every time when we are living, whatever comes our way, we face it, we go about our life, and we enjoy. We have fun, and we become different people because we don't focus on our setbacks. You can make yourself busy. Keep yourself busy doing things that you love to do, doing things that you enjoy. Just keep yourself busy. Do not have time to just sit and idle around, just sit and think about your heartaches. Just get something to do. The things that makes you happy. Is it your work? If you have a job, if you have some work that you usually do, you can always make your job, your work fun. You can always make it a companion. You can make life sweet and beautiful through the work that you do. Make yourself busy. Keep yourself busy. Do not be idle. The moment you become idle, you start thinking about the heartaches that you're going through. The other thing, you can run away from the rats. What do I mean by this? There is always, like when we were in our home place, there were some trails that had been made by the rats. All the time ukipita kwa barabara, you could tell this is where the rats go through. You could tell they pass through this route. All the time you could see them. You could see where they pass through. Run away from the rats. Do not take the route that was taken by the others. You know, some people come in life, when they get hurt, they go for suicide. Others go for withdrawal. Others fall into depression. Run away from the rats. Do not be part of the rats. Because, you know, eventually, when we wanted to catch the rats, what did we do? We followed the trails, and we were able to catch the rat by its tail. Therefore, do not follow the trail that the others have followed. You don't have to consult always. Sometimes learn to make decisions for yourself. You don't have to always consult. And that is what I mean by running away from the rats. Do not be one of the rats who will be caught. The other thing, you have to cultivate healthy relationships. Whom do you work with? Who are your best friends? You know, you show me your friend, I'll tell you the kind of a person you are. The people that you work with, do they encourage you? Are they always causing heartache? You know, there are friends that we work with, but not because we want to work with them, but because there is no other way. But that is not a healthy relationship. Cultivate a healthy relationship whereby they share the pains you have, they understand you, they can help you out. That is what I mean by healthy relationship. Do not work with people just because you want a companion. Choose your friends wisely. Choose the relationship that you want to have wisely. And that way, your hearts will be forgotten easily. The other thing, you have to control your feelings. You have to control your anger. You have to control your emotions. Because emotions and feelings talk for us. They always talk so loudly. You may choose to live a happy life, but when you don't control your anger, your emotions, your feelings, you'll always find yourself losing the track. So if you want your life to be beautiful, even amidst pain, learn to control your anger, learn to control your emotions, learn to control your feelings. Everybody knows how much they can go. We all know how much we can burst. We know how far we can go. We know how high and how low we can go. Just control yourself. Go to a level that does not cause you pain, that does not cause you loss. Then the other thing, you have to take care of the decisions that you make. Sometimes we have issues that needs us to decide so fast. Before you decide, can you assess the situation? Assess what you are about to do. The decisions that you make can ruin or build. So you have to make careful decisions. Be careful when you're making decisions. Then the other thing, you have to abbreviate your life. How do you abbreviate your life? For example, there are these words that I can give you. You tell me whether they make sense. That is, that is, not, is, not, is, that, not, it, is, it. Now, I want us to abbreviate that life. I want us to abbreviate those words. That is, comma, is, full stop. That is not, comma, is not, exclamation mark. Isn't that it, question mark, it is, full stop. That tells you that the abbreviation marks have brought a meaning to that sentence. If that sentence was not abbreviated, then it could not make sense. The first sentence did not make sense, but after abbreviation of the sentence, then it made a lot of sense. And that is the same case with our lives. If we do not abbreviate our lives, we will have a meaningless life. How do we abbreviate our lives? There are so many things, there are so many corners, there are so many commas, there are so many exclamation marks. It is living our life meaningfully. meaning our lives the way they should be. If you're working, be focused. Focus is an abbreviation. If you want to work and be successful, do not chase your customers. Taking care of your clients and your customers is part of abbreviation of your life. If you want to have a successful, healthy life, you should eat healthy. If you don't eat healthy, then you're losing your health life. Therefore, that is part of abbreviation, and so many others that you know. You have to abbreviate your life and you put it together. If you don't, then you can be sure you will not have a beautiful life. Then the last one that I would advise is to take brave moves. Sometimes we fear to do things. We can't take a move because we fear the outcome. Take brave moves. Be courageous. Be brave. Walk shoulder high. Believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one will ever believe in you. Believe in your dreams. Believe that out of the pain that you're going through, you can rise and become a better person. Believe that the pain that you're going through has come to sharpen your life, has come to make you a better person. You can always take that brave life. Have you lost everything that you had? You can start again. Starting again will always require a brave heart. It will require a brave move. Therefore, for you to start over again through a heartache and through pain, amidst all what you are going through, you have to make a brave move. Now, as I conclude, I would wish to tell you that life can be good, life can be beautiful, and life is always beautiful, no matter what we are going through. On a cloudy day, we are happy because there is no burning and scorching sun on our foreheads. But still, the sunshine is vital for our lives. On a day when it is rainy, people will complain, oh, how will I go to town? I have forgotten my umbrella in the office. But on that rainy day, that farmer is rejoicing because we will have food. And even those that do not need rain for that time, they will still need food. So food will grow through the rain. And therefore, we all need all those weather conditions. So when it is rainy on your day, be sure that tomorrow will be sunshine. And if you need sunshine so much, be sure that at one point there will be a cloudy day in your life. And until next time, I wish you a happy life. I wish you a beautiful life. As you follow us and as you watch our videos every Friday, do not forget to subscribe. It's me, your girl, Millie, and bye-bye.